the lineup for both teams tonight. Some names out of action.
They say misery loves company, and both teams now suffering with injuries. But in the end, it balances out.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. Cole is out there with Jokic. Then it's Michael Porter. Then there's Gordon, and it's Rivers in at the point guard. And for Los Angeles, we've got Patrick Beverley. He's out there with Paul George. Ivica Zubac is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the 4. Jokic, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Beverley finds Zubac. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. The shot by George, wide open. Off target from outside. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Pass to Bull. Back to Gordon. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
And at 7-2, Bull has incredible vision, including noticing when his teammates are open.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. George fires. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. Now here's Rivers. And there's the pass to Porter. Back to Rivers. Clock at 6. And a miss there on the triple. George against Porter. And it's sent back by Jokic.
And check out Jokic using not just his length, but also the timing. The offensive player better think twice next time.
Clippers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Beverley. The shot's good on the assist by George.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
Now here's Porter. Three-pointer. Oturu with the rebound.
And they had some boxed coverage that turned into no coverage.
They now take the lead.
Facing up from mid-range, George could have tried to drive, but takes what the defense gives him. In OKC, Paul George showed he could be an MVP caliber performer. With Kawhi on the Clippers, he could be that 1B or that 1A.
Now, here's Jokic. Offensive rebound. That one, no good. The Clippers in the lead. And it's sent back by Jokic. And finished off by Porter.
Woo. He is so quick off the ground. Porter just gives the defense very little time to react. And PG, you know, he has the versatility to succeed in different roles. Doesn't have to dominate the ball.
Yes, and if anything, he's more comfortable scoring within the flow of the offense. With his all-around impact, doesn't need to force things to make winning plays. But if you need him to, he can.
Now Gordon. Paul George missing from long range.
And we all know Gordon isn't just going to lay it up. He's going for the throwdown every time.
Outside Leonard. Passes it to Zubac. And here's George for 3. Jokic grabs the miss.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
It's a scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Paul Millsap is checked in for the Nuggets. Here's Jokic. That one wide left.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. JaMychal Green, he's checked in for the Nuggets. Harrison comes in for Porter. 59 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Outside Gordon. Lob pass to Gordon. That shot, no good. Good work defensively by Morris. Gordon, the pass to Millsap. Gordon inside. Morris is there. Cousins pulls it in. And Morris has got the ball here for Los Angeles. Got a piece of it. And here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. And it's Green with the jam.
But what about the athletic ability of Green? A real powerhouse who just knows how to bring the hammer down.
Outside Jackson. Batum dishes to Cousins. Outside Batum. Los Angeles with another miss. And here's Green outside. And so the first quarter is in the books. Nuggets lead by 4. And will. Recently, we spoke with Patrick Beverley about his throwback.
Old school basketball, you know.
Now, pound for pound, Greg, Beverley may be the most physical player in the league.
And he also gets in your head. It's a combination that allows him to get stops against guys as big as Kevin Durant.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And when you consider how Denver is doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Especially at the start. You want to get something positive going and establish your rhythm.
Rajon Rondo is out there with Reggie Jackson. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Batum. And it's Kennard in at the 3. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Marcus Morris is checked in for the Clippers. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
The foot speed of JaMychal quickly changes ends, able to convert these plays with ease.
I know you appreciate this, Greg. So much of defense now is closing out on the three-point shooting and then protecting the rim. Consequently, pull-up jump shooters are super valuable, and there are a lot of good ones in the NBA right now.
No doubt about it. And Kevin, you know, you think about a few guys. James Harden, I mean, he shoots that step-back 3, but he's a guy that, because of his ability to utilize your inability to defend that three-pointer, Kyrie, Dame Lillard, those are some guys. Chris Paul still as good as anybody in that mid-range area. C.J. McCollum. These are guys that have really feasted and carved out a nice niche for themselves in the NBA because of that ability to take and make jump shots.
And I love that list. You're right on.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Morris inside. Kennard covering. Green kicks to Morris. Pass to Harrison. Clock at 4. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Millsap, first shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Batum finds Cousins. Morris against Jackson, and Jackson throws it down hard.
A decisive finish for Reggie Jackson at the rim.
Now Morris. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. He dishes it to Green. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
That was excellent contest, preventing him from making something that's usually automatic.
And the dunk by Jackson.
Nice find by Luke. Shows good vision in both half court and in transition.
Morris passes to McGee. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. And the Nuggets lead by 9.
And doing much better now in that first quarter, converting less than 30% of their field goal opportunities, bouncing back nicely here in the second.
Jackson kicks to Kennard. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. The Nuggets leading by 9.
Well, how can you not love the continued resurgence of JaVale McGee? There were some years where he was trying to figure it out. Now he's a big factor for this team at center.
Rivers passes to Jokic, and there's the call on Patrick Beverley. That's foul number 2 for him.
All this means is he has to be careful. Don't want to pick up a cheapie and get sent to the bench with 3 fouls.
Here's Rivers. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Gordon finds Porter. From deep three-point range, but they'll get another chance. Pass to Rivers. At the elbow, Jokic shoots over Zubats, and that one off the back of the rim and in.
And just paying attention to the details, it makes great reads offensively. Jokic is so comfortable with the catch and shoot.
You know, Smitty, the change for McGee's pretty simple. He got some direction on how to play. Now he does everything he can to play within himself.
Kevin, that has been a huge difference maker for JaVale McGee. And you know when he's focused, he can make an impact. Plays in short bursts, but very effective.
Leonard with the bucket.
Attacking, trying to get good looks. Give Kawhi credit. He finds one.
It's Jokic top of the key. Goes up at the stripe, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Jokic has got the lead up to 11 now for the Nuggets.
And yeah, he's not messing around. He wants no part of a comeback in this one.
The reason why momentum can flip so quickly, we see it time and time again, teams giving up big leads.
There's 39 seconds left in the first half. From deep, George. And Bull pulls it down. Bull's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Gordon with no one around. No good from outside.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Count it, and the Nugget lead has been cut to just 9 on the basket from Paul George.
Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
Down low, here's Jokic, and Jokic throws it down.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. The 3 from George. That'll do it for the first half. The Nuggets on top, up 11. It's time now to go court. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again. A pretty close game for the Nuggets throughout the first quarter. They were never able to get the lead above 4. They controlled the second. Thanks for joining us, folks.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. One of the stories here, Jokic getting it done today.
As impressive as the block totals are from him early on, they don't even tell the whole story. He's changed countless others.
Yes, defensively, what they've done, they funnel people his way and banking on his ability to intimidate.
Second half underway. Here's who Mike Malone's got on the floor. They've got Michael Porter. Gordon out there with Bull. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Rivers in at the 1. Clippers trail by 11. From deep. And Paul George with the 3. George has got the first points to start out the third quarter for Los Angeles. Gordon with it. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Basket good.
An underrated part, really, of being a sick athlete like Gordon, body control. Used it there to keep the form on his shot.
Rondo looking over the floor. Outside, George. And here's Porter. And pushing it up, here's Denver. Shoots from 14, and Jokic gets it to go. The assist by Porter. And now a 12-point Nugget lead. And it's Rondo with the ball for the Clippers. Right side, George. Over Porter. That doesn't go either for George. Nuggets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Porter dishes to Rivers. Those three-pointers off the mark. For Los Angeles, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker with the break.
I mean, all period, it's been a struggle for him scoring the ball.
The kick out to Porter. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. Here's Jokic. Rebound by the Clippers. Oturu's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. George, no good.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
Hits it from three-point range.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Outside Rondo. George with the ball. Now guarded by Porter. Good on that shot, and with that, the Nugget lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from George. Flattening the lottery odds, Greg. Do you think that's worked out as intended?
You don't hear as many predictions about who's going to get the 1 pick or the 2nd pick. I think that's good for the players and the fans. You don't want anyone rooting for you to lose.
No, absolutely not. Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. Back to Kennard. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Kennard's got his first bucket of the night.
Can't let Kennard get this close. Once you do, he's going up with it.
Now, here is Morris. No points in the game yet for him. Jackson comes over with the double. Batum with the steal. Poked loose. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. .133 left to play in the third. Now, here's Kennard. Tight defense on him. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, he's a guy who is built for these kind of plays. DeMarcus using his size and skill to full advantage.
Morris passes to Harrison. 1:07 left here in the third quarter. Knocked away. Cousins against McGee. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Defensively, that's just too physical. I know what the man's trying to do, but Cousins is wily enough to take advantage.
And so he makes both from the line. Here's Morris. Inside, here's McGee. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
That's just good basketball. Can't ask for a better look.
The Nuggets have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. Clippers trail by 9. The pass to Morris. On the wing, Batum. Millsap against Morris. From the arc. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Morris inside. Jackson on him. Here's McGee. Makes it off the glass. McGee's got 5 points in the quarter.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
And so it's Denver. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They've been playing some fur. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You see why they trust him with the ball in his hands. He can make the simple play, and he can pull off the spectacular.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
Kawhi Leonard. Paul George.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He said they played well in certain areas, but the lack of detail to the defensive boards has allowed their opponent too many second-chance opportunities. And that, he said, is the difference in this game. They have to get busy on the glass, Kevin.
Millsap finds Green. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Leonard with the steal. And here we go. Beverly heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Always up there among the leaders in steals. Leonard gets his team out in transition.
Here's Harrison. Defended by Beverly. Outside Green. The tray. It's hauled in by Zubac. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Here in the fourth quarter, the defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. The Nuggets leading by 7. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
Big group substitution here for Denver. Jokic has checked in for Millsap. Cole comes in for JaMychal Green. Michael Porter, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. And it's Rivers in for Shaquille Harrison. George against Porter. George passes to Oturu. From deep. The Clippers keep it alive. Outside, George. 6 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, sinks it. What range from outside? Wow. George has got 9 points now in just the second half. Now Rivers. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Here's Jokic. Got it. Good job in the low post. And the Nuggets lead by 9.
I mean, wonderful court vision. Sometimes Rivers gets locked in to finding his own shot. This time, finds the open man.
On the wing, George. Guarded by Porter.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
You know what he did? He timed it well and did a good job of contesting without committing the foul.
Passes it to Jokic. Chalk up 2 there. And now it's an 11-point Nugget lead.
And this is where Jokic is most comfortable. The closer he is to the rim, the more effective he becomes.
Pass to Oturu. Here's George over Porter. And George gets it to go. George has got 5 points in the quarter.
You just love how reliable he is. Night in and night out, his offense is there.
Pass to Jokic. Puts it up from 15. Another miss by Jokic. And the call up against Jokic. That'll be his second foul of the game. Rajon Rondo's checked in for Patrick Beverly. The Nuggets also changing it up. JaMychal Green comes in for Aaron Gordon. And Paul Millsap is subbed in for Michael Porter. The deep 3 from George. And Zubac picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Denver leading by 9. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Here's Rivers. Hits it from about 6 feet away. Rivers has got his first basket of the night.
I mean, he's extremely confident and aggressive. Rivers loves to take it up inside.
Now the pass to George. From deep. That shot misses. And Denver the other way now. And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. Monte Morris is checked in for Austin Rivers.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Nuggets.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Jokic.
You have to love the way that he was closing out on defensive trips. He would always body up, and it's why he ended with so many boards.
And it's the Nuggets ball. They lead by 11. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
It's just one trip down the court, but you have to have short memory in this league or you won't last long.
Here's Morris. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Outside for Rondo. Now the feed to Patterson. Lets it go from deep. No good there. And so it's Denver taking care of business in this one. A solid win. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. The beaches of Santa Monica and Venice, not too. And before we get going,
Kevin, thanks.
he stays working and stays true. David, thank you. And the injury report for both teams. Players who will not be available tonight.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Norman Powell, and it's Nurkic in at the center position. And for the Clippers, they've got Paul George. He's out there with Patrick Beverley. Ivica Zubac is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the 4 slot. And the dunk by Powell. Some of the best in the game go at it here tonight, Chris. What an incredible guard matchup we have here in this one.
Oh, Kevin, there are some all-time greats playing at the guard spots these days. It will be a fun matchup to watch.
It's good.
And it's really hard to knock George off his balance. He's just so long and strong. Nice take there.
First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Covington against Leonard. Here's Nurkic. Oh, good on that one. Great D that time from Leonard. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Just phenomenal awareness by Beverly, just dishing the ball to the wide open man easily.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Lillard, the pass to McCollum. Back to Lillard. 6 to shoot. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum.
Entering the NBA, I knew he needed to develop his mid-range game. He did it, and it's opened things up for him.
Passes it to Leonard. Outside, George. Zubac kicks to George. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Here's Oturu. Outside for George. And George with the stuff.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
Now, here's Lillard. Nurkic with it. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And the touch Nurkic has inside, I mean, I love seeing him be aggressive and look to get his shot from it.
And Yusuf Nurkic, missing a whole calendar year not too long ago, was still involved with the team during that stretch and was a fixture on their bench.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Nurkic, but hey, bro, you had some wild shirts on the sideline. I couldn't even watch the game. You was over there dizzying cats up. But I know you were doing your thing, but he would use clothing to call out other players, teams, and commentators. Nurkic doesn't mince words, and I'm glad he's back and playing.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Enes Kanter's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Jones checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for Damian Lillard. Here's Kennard. Following the basket by C.J. McCollum. Here's Jackson. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
How about the muscle from Jackson on that play? Even with the contact, he knocked the bucket down easily.
And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for Portland. They trail by 1. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Portland moving the ball around. Kanter's shot is off. Clippers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Here's Kennard. Outside for Jackson. On the wing, Batum. He's guarded by McCollum, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line. That sends Nicholas Batum to the free throw line. It goes on C.J. McCollum. The Clippers have shot just 1 free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
Well, that is because Batum is one of the most versatile players in the league. His ability to score from any spot, pass, rebound, and defend, that's what makes him so unique and important.
Here's Anthony. Kanter trying to free himself up.
And for a power forward, he can sure get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage.
On the wing, Morris. Now here's Jackson. T right on him. Cousins with it. Kanter covering. Cousins dishes to Jackson. And Kanter pulls it down. The Trailblazers have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Good work defensively by Morris.
Some very aggressive defense to prevent the easy layup.
Batum, good. Batum's got 5.
Oh, and Batum just has astounding body control, which is what allows him to hit shots despite obvious physical contact.
Cullen passes to Cantor. Nice open look, but it's no good.
And mark that one down right there. It's going to be a long time until we see him miss another one like that.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Clippers lead by 4. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere.
What we've learned is staying together.
And Greg, of course, he helps keep everyone on the same page.
He communicates well with his teammates, and he listens. That's why they trust him. The discussions go both ways.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Luke Kennard out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Batum. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's man in at the small forward. Looking at current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
Man, there's so many guys that, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table. But in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are 3 names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Damian Lillard's checked in for Anthony Simons. Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. No good on that one. So the Clippers will take it the other way. And now here's Batum, the fast break opportunity. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Batum's got the lead up to 8 now for Los Angeles. Lillard outside. Now here's McCollum. Pass to Nurkic. Shoots over Cousins. Up again. And the second chance covered by McCollum.
He plays with so much heart, McCollum. I mean, he's constantly battling on the court. This time, it's on the glass.
Jackson passes to Morris. And it's good for 2. Morris has got his second bucket tonight.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Lillard outside. The dish to Nurkic. Pass to Powell. Back to Nurkic. Over Cousins. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
What good positioning by Nurkic. I mean, he has his shot all picked out. Just needed that feed.
And now we've got the intentional foul. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And here are the Clippers now. 6-point lead. Here's George. From down in the low post, it goes. George has got 6.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Here's Anthony. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Melo made his way back into the league last season. He was immediately a heavy minutes player for the Blazers. Looks good as a third scoring option for the team.
And with Melo not having to bear so much of the scoring load, I think it was good for him.
Yeah, especially since he took about a year off from playing. Melo had to take a long look in the mirror about how he can help teams win during his absence. But he clearly has something left to offer.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
The coaching staff has to be upset. You can't give the opposition easy baskets like this.
Here's Simons.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And last season's numbers show him at about an 83% clip, which is far better than most.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Now Beverly. Outside, George. Excellent D from Cantor.
Man, when the ball's in his hands, that's as high percentage as it gets. It's just a fluke miss.
And Jones slams it home.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Now here's Leonard. Outside, George. His 4th miss of the game. He's made 3. Trailblazers trail by 4. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. Here's Zubac. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. George with the ball. Jones covering. George, no good.
He's got to be disappointed with his performance, but it'll be easier to swallow if they keep the lead.
And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
There's 18 seconds left to play in the first half. Fires the 3. Trains the three-pointer. George has got 9.
And I love the floor spacing George gives you. His range seems to extend a little every year.
It's McCollum on the wing. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive... Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They were never able to get the lead above 4. And that should do it.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
This game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Nurkic, and it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. Powell with the steal. And oh, here we go. Covington's got it. The fast break chance. Lillard outside. There's the pass to Oturu. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And he comes up with the deuce. Oturu's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Clippers. About 1 minute played here in the second half. Pass to McCollum. Paul George with the steal. Covington with the steal. To the paint. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Pass to Beverly. Right side Leonard. Powell pulls it in.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Here's Lillard, and it's sent back by George. And George with the stuff.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
Now here's McCollum. Back to Lillard. To the wing on the left. Clock at 6. Here's Nurkic. And a lot of contact on the... And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. They're double-checking, and the game continues on.
Well, that just speaks to the confidence Batum has in himself. He likes to catch and shoot, Jay, because it catches defenders off their guard.
Outside Jones. Anthony kicks to Jones. Tries from 16, and the jumper is on the mark. Jones has got his third bucket of the night.
An 0 for 3 start to the first half is finally behind him. I mean, now maybe they can get something rolling.
Kennard, the pass to Leonard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, when he was in high school in California, Kawhi won the state's Mr. Basketball Award. And you look at the list of guys who've won that award over the years, it has a lot of the all-time greats on it.
Oh, you can get spoiled watching him at the line. I mean, you just expect him to make every one, every time.
Dishes it to Nurkic. Oturu with the rebound.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Count that bucket.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
DeMarcus Cousins. He's checked in for the Clippers. Morris comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Lillard's checked in for Anthony Simons. Now here's Jackson. After the miss from Damian Lillard. Jackson drives in.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Jones finds Lillard to the middle. Here's Anthony. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Lillard's got 3 assists now in this one.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Now here's Jackson. There's a minute left in the third. And the layup is good. Jackson's got the lead back up to 9 now for the Clippers.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here's Lillard. Kicks it out to Jones. Back to Lillard. He feeds it to Nurkic. Can't cash in from close range.
Knowing the kind of competitor he is, I know he's upset with his performance and with the score.
Here's Batum. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Trailblazers trail by 11. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Lillard. To the inside. Here's Nurkic. A second chance effort. Here's Jones. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Resourceful move there, ending the period on a high note.
Yeah, great job of getting a look before the horn sounded and getting some momentum.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Patrick Beverley out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the four-man position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. That's his sixth field goal today, and that makes him now 6 for 11.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
Lillard, the pass to Canner. And here is Powell. Goes up from the top of the key, and it's off the back rim. No good.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
The offensive rebound, and stolen by Lillard. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. McCollum with the ball. Stolen by Zubac. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Beverley with the ball. Got a piece of it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Appreciate the effort, though, making his presence felt defensively.
DeMarcus Cousins. He's checked in for Los Angeles. The shot's good from Cantor.
And it's not easy trying to defend McCollum in the pick and roll. He does a nice job threading the needle in these sets.
Beverley against Lillard. And that one's good. Beverley. And the Clippers lead by 11.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah. Horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up.
Cantor kicks to McCollum. And it's off from three-point range. Clippers leading by 11. Here's George. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, I love the court awareness from Kawhi there. Dependable at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Lillard attacking. Yes, that goes in.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Lillard against Beverley. Outside, George. Back to Beverley. Leonard finds Beverley. Shot clock at 6. Here's George. He watches it go through the hoop for his 8th make. Now 8 for 14.
A guy with George's focus can shrug off the contact. He won't let the defender disrupt his rhythm.
Pass to McCollum. .158 left in the fourth quarter of this one, and he banks in the layup. Greg, as a point guard, you must have had so much fun being surrounded by so much terrific talent at UNLV.
You know, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, I mean, I could go on. And you're right, I was blessed to play alongside these guys. They were incredible talents, finishers. And, you know, you don't always appreciate it going through that moment, but the fact that we're all still close and stay in contact, man, what an awesome experience to be a part of that team.
Chemistry must have been off the charts on that team.
It was, and we had a lot of personalities, man. It was a different era back then, but I tell you, again, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
The pass to George. From deep three-point range, George missing again. And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Trailblazers. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Beverley with the ball. Lillard picks him up. Zubac the pass to George. .44 seconds left to play in the final quarter. from deep. The long distance three is buried. And the Clippers lead by 12.
And guys, when George gets cooking, you are in for a long night. He's just fantastic at finding different ways to score.
Back to Lillard. Passes it to Powell. McCollum against George. Covington wide open. He fires. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. On the wing, George. From deep three-point range. So the Clippers winning this one easily. Some good competition. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The view high above our broadcast location. Now it's in.
Kevin, thank you.
Indeed. Something special, David. Thanks. Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. We've got Josh Richardson. Marjanovic is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's Finney Smith in at the 3 slot. And for the Clippers, we've got Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Oturu in at the 4-man position.
And the versatility of Paul George's game, elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
When you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor, I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Beverley finds George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. The rebound by Marjanovic.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Has the vertical needed to dunk it. Doncic showing off the power and flair that he possesses.
And the Clippers have possession following the score by Dallas. The 3 from George. The Clippers keep it alive. Zubac back to Beverley. Leonard kicks to George. Moves back up. Oturu's shot is off. And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Dallas has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And yes, it's good.
And he's capable of scoring from anywhere, really. Doncic has a strong grasp here of the mid-range.
And here's George. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That is his first foul of the game. Outside, George. Clock at 6.
One player sometimes can drag down your offense, and he seems to be an anchor here in this quarter. So far, the team just 1 of 5, and that rim shrinking.
Tim Hardaway Jr. checked in for Dallas. And so here is Dallas. Doncic passes to Marjanovic. Leonard with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's Oturu. That misses off the backboard. For Dallas, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. So it's Richardson with the jam.
Well, Richardson doing a great job in transition. Has good speed. That time accelerates in the open floor.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Beverley, the pass to Zubac. And here's George. 5 to shoot. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
Yeah, it was weird because it looked like the defense was ready for the move, but Paul George had a little something extra for him.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, GA. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Dallas.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Mike Powell comes in for Porzingis. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Luka Doncic. Now here's Brunson. Banked in off the glass. Brunson's got his second basket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Jackson deciding where to go with it. And the rejection by Cauley Stein.
Don't want to be.
And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Was shot by Redick, no good. Clippers trail by 6. And the wide open shot from Morris. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson, using his poise and vision to make a play.
Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. It's rebounded by Brunson. Mavericks leading by 4. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The shot by Powell, no good.
I don't think the defense does enough out there to bother him. I think that one's all on him. Just a flat-out miss.
And then Cousins with the dunk.
Cousins, with his height, is able to get up there and jam that one down. Just get the ball deep to him on the inside, and pretty much he'll take care of the rest.
Hardaway finds Brunson. Ollie Stein in the post. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And we reach the end of the first quarter. Mavericks ahead, leading by 4. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in... And catching up with Luke Kennard before the game, he discussed what it takes for young players to acclimate themselves to the NBA.
You know, this game, you know, it's...
Greg, you know this. It takes time mentally for the game to slow down.
It's a great point. This is why most championship teams are laden with seasoned veterans. You can't rush experience. It happens at its own pace.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take on the Mavericks so far?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, that worked wonders for them in the quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments get made.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the Mavericks, J.J. Redick is out there with Burke. Then there's Dwight Powell. Then there's Cauley Stein. And it's Finney Smith in at the small forward. And Redick, here we go. And he overshot that one, missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And the rejection by Cauley Stein. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Morris is checked in for the Clippers. Jackson comes in for Rajon Rondo. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Marjanovic checked in for Cauley Stein. Porzingis comes in for Dwight Powell. Josh Richardson's checked in for J.J. Redick. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Burke.
And it was interesting how the Dallas franchise sold its fans on Doncic. Ownership told them, think of a 6'7" Steve Nash. Isn't quite the shooter Steve was, but is only a teenager. Great vision where he can really pass it. And it turns out Doncic is all of that and more.
Stolen by Jackson. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Okay, 2 of the easiest points that Cousins is going to have, but in fine fashion with the big throwdown.
Doncic looking it over. Outside, Porzingis. Pass to Marjanovic. Back to Porzingis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Marjanovic against Cousins. Marjanovic, no good. And even Nash himself called Doncic a cream prospect.
Yeah, it said Luka was big and mobile enough in the modern game can guard multiple positions, has a skill set, a winning mentality, and those leadership qualities. Steve Nash sounding like a future GM.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Doncic against Jackson. Here's Marjanovic. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
On the wing, Morris. Back to Jackson. There's the triple. And that one is off. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. And an intentional foul right there. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Powell, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Hardaway comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. On the wing, Hardaway. Back to Doncic. Lets it go from deep. Count it. Number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11. If you go step in a time machine, what would you like and dislike about playing in this area at this time?
Well, no doubt about the tempo and the spacing. I think that, more than anything, allows for the true skill and artistry of the game to be on display. I probably wouldn't want to get switched onto Embiid down low. That wouldn't. I would probably dislike that and let it be known vociferously.
But I always pictured you as being fearless, like you would never turn down that kind of challenge.
I wouldn't turn it down publicly.
That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. George has got it all tied up now for the Clippers.
Think back to when Paul George entered the league in the 2010-11 season for the Indiana Pacers, a skinny kid. Not so much anymore.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
Powell kicks to Doncic. From the arc. That one, no good. The Clippers go the other way with it. Here's Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Knocks down the 3 ball. Doncic has got a pair of triples in the second now for the Mavs. Beverly feeling it out a bit. Outside, George. From deep. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. It's been all about Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a good game. From the get-go, it was Dallas who came out strong. An exceptional game plan helped them open with a 12-4 run. And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team is able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You have to like what you're seeing from Luka Doncic.
He's definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
Yeah, you want these kind of nights where you can start to see those openings before they happen.
They've got Ivica Zubac. Paul George is out there, Patrick Beverly. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the power forward. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue.
And in a player empowerment era, no greater power move than Kawhi Leonard's last year. Fresh off a Finals MVP with the Raptors, he signed with his hometown Clippers and compelled a trade for Paul George.
Think about that 14-month run where Kawhi Leonard made his way to Toronto, a team that was on the cusp for many seasons. Goes there, wins the MVP and the championship for the Raptors, and then ends up in his hometown of Los Angeles to try to do the same for the Clippers. Now that's getting it done and writing your own story. Well, when Paul George has that kind of length and then has the high release point that he does, very few people are going to get to it to block a mid-range jumper like that.
And that one's good. Doncic has got 18 points in the game.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Well, just ripping through right there as he finds the open spot and gets right through there. High basketball IQ play.
Here's Oturu, and the officials call him for a 3-second violation.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
Rajon Rondo's checked in for the Clippers. Back to Brunson, over Rondo. Offensive rebound. Cauley-Stein passes to Burke. Cauley-Stein kicks to Burke. And he's good on the 3-ball. Burke's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Clippers trail by 6. And there's the pass to Oturu. Outside Leonard. George looking over the floor. Down low, Zubac takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now here's Burke. He started closer. Cauley-Stein dishes to Powell. Passes to Brunson. The Clippers grab the miss.
He loved to make him pay for giving up that wide-open jumper. Was unable to do so.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's his first foul. And so here is Dallas. The lead is 2. Dallas, no good that time either. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And Morris has got the ball here for Los Angeles.
That's his first personal foul.
Right side Jackson for the tie. He takes it up and lays it in. And that'll tie this game up.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes. Can find the creases with that handle.
Cauley-Stein goes in. Misses from short range. The Clippers have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. And the rejection by Cauley-Stein. And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Porzingis is coming in for Dwight Powell. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Kennard's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
Here's Brunson. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
The Mavericks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dwight Powell comes in for Porzingis. And it's Cauley-Stein in for J.J. Redick. Runs in the pass to Burke. 1:11 left in the third. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Doesn't get talked about enough, but weak side cutting of DeMarcus Cousins into the open space. It makes the D react to him when he penetrates like that.
And so DeMarcus Cousins nails both of them. 1:02 left in the third quarter. Runs in the pass to Burke. Here's Powell. Burke looking over the floor. Shoots from the right block. Dallas again missing. Clippers leading by 5. Jackson passes to Morris. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 4th assist in this one.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
Coaches always talk about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They have definitely increased their energy level here.
Jackson drives in, misses in close.
They've been able to have some team success in this game despite what's been an awful shooting night for him.
Brunson, and he uses the glass on the layup. Brunson's got 7 points.
Wow, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Outside Jackson. Stolen by Brunson. Here's Hardaway. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. Well, we thought the third quarter was over. It turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up, and even before we...
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. The Clippers on top as they wrap up the third quarter in a 14-5 run. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the floor for Dallas, Kristaps Porzingis is up. Wow, hammering it in!
Well, not only looking at Paul George get up, look at the guys on the bench loving it from PG.
Doncic passes to Richardson. Pass to Marjanovic. Stolen by Zubac. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
Here's Doncic. Empty that time from Leonard. Clippers leading by 7. George passes to Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Pass to Finney-Smith. And the foul call on Kawhi Leonard. That's foul number 2 for him. Leonard against Doncic. And it's good for 2.
And it just seems when Doncic turns it on, it's a sight to see. Incredible at scoring in a variety of ways.
Outside, George. And it's George finishing it off.
Yeah, Paul George, look out. Hammers that one home.
Here's Doncic. Puts up a 3. That doesn't go either for Doncic.
Yeah, the defense there in chill mode. We all know he can burn them from three-point range.
And it's George finishing it off.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
I mean, this team is just dangerous. Right now, every shot that they're putting up feels like it's going in.
And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 10-2 run here. And that one's good. Beverly. Greg, who would you choose as the best defenders of the NBA pick and roll?
Oof. That is a tough one. This will surprise some people. Nikola Jokic is one of the better big men defending the pick and roll, in part because of his instinct. You know, he doesn't impress me in terms of his physical attributes, but his mind, the ability to anticipate, having a sense of how perimeter players play the game. He's a guy that's terrific. I'll give you an oldie but goodie in Andre Iguodala. He's still terrific. And I pick bigger guys because you've got to be able to switch that and guard smaller players. And, you know, at the center and the swing position, those are 2 guys that still are very reliable.
And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
The three for Doncic. An absolute bomb from three-point range. Doncic has got 5 points now in the quarter. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. George against Richardson. Just 5 to shoot. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Out to Doncic. Misses the three.
Well, even though he misses that one, the defense has got to talk about that. And that's a bad miscue, and you can't give up looks like that all game long.
Richardson against George. Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. And it's Porzingis that time on the assist by Richardson. Porzingis has got it back down to single digits for the Mavs. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Leonard on the wing. The pass to Oturu. Rondo kicks to George. From deep three-point range, the Clippers get another chance here. From deep, the putback, it's good on the putback. And the Clippers lead by 11.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
Awesome to see their output tonight, trying to urge their team on, and that can always help.
David, thank you.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
From Mile High City, it's time for the NBA. Both teams tonight dealing with some injury. Here's a look at who's out for the evening.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Paul George is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the 4 slot. And for Denver, Austin Rivers is out there with Porter. Then there's Bull. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Gordon in at the 3. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Rivers kicks to Jokic. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
George. The shot, no good. Now Denver takes it the other way. And Gordon gets it to go in on the assist by Bull. And both teams, Doris, battling injuries.
Kevin, we have seen that when someone is injured, that means an opportunity for a bench player to show what they have. And the coaching staff maybe has to get a little bit more creative than usual.
Count it.
You have got to have the right focus and the right reads in the pick and roll. And Paul George making all the right decisions right now, slicing up the defense.
Now here's Rivers. Pass to Jokic. Shoots over Zubac. Jokic, no good.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
And he gets it to go.
Boy, not a bad beginning. 3 for 4 from the floor. Pretty good start.
The Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
A nice shot by Rivers.
Austin Rivers knows how to navigate through defenses, puts the ball on the deck and gets to his spot.
Pass to Beverley. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Leonard against Gordon. Just 4 to shoot. The deep 3 from George. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
Here's Jokic. Paul George making his last shot. Jokic inside, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And you better hammer Jokic to get him off on his shot. The Serbian is a solid 7-footer and laser focused.
Now, here is George. He's got 6. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first quarter. Shaquille Harrison, he's checked in for Austin Rivers. And then for Los Angeles, Batum comes in for Ivica Zubac. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Patrick Beverley. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Morris with the bucket.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
1:31 left in the first quarter. Jackson, that's a 2-pointer. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And it's Millsap with the ball for the Denver Nuggets. Here's Harrison. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Both shots good from the stripe. Clippers trail by 4. Outside Jackson. Kennard on the wing. Over in the corner, Batum. The pass to Kennard. Shoots the three. Morris with the rebound. The Nuggets have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. Passes it to Najee. Stolen by Jackson. Kennard finds Morris. Over Millsap. And the Clippers miss again.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
The shot's good from McGee.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Jackson with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Kennard for three. Rebounded by McGee. Denver leading by 6. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Here's Harrison. Kennard covering. 4 seconds left. McGee's shot is off. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Nuggets lead by 6. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. What do you guys think about the Nuggets out here in this one?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Clippers. Batum is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Man in at the small forward. He gets that one. McGee's got his second bucket.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Morris against Jackson from downtown. Here's Batum. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Well, get it inside to a quality scorer and let this guy do his thing.
Marcus Morris is checked in for the Clippers. The Clippers shooting their first free throw of the game here.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
Now, here is Morris. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Outside, Batum. Morris finds Batum. From outside the arc. Rebounded by McGee. The Nuggets leading by 5. Pass to Najee. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. The dish to McGee. Lays it up and banks it in. McGee's got the lead up to 7 now for the Nuggets.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Pass to Kennard. Jackson against Morris. Here's Cousins. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Millsap has the open look. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Clippers trail by 7. Batum attacking. Can't connect from short range. Here's the 3. And Paul Millsap, the bucket on the assist by McGee.
And really, over the last few years, Millsap has really improved that outside shot. Now capable of stretching the defense.
Morris passes to Jackson. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season. Championship night, I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I was wired shut for 8 weeks. Did miss a game, but I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today, but, you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah. Got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall with my face. Yeah.
Oh, ouch. It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Clippers trail by 10. Left side, George. They could use a bucket. And George with the stuff.
Well, an aggressive player at the rim. Paul George has the kind of athleticism to make a defense look silly. When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college. But boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Leonard, no luck. And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym, so he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to leave. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
Here's George. Michael Porter making his last shot. 6 on the shot clock.
Well, Paul George smack dab in the middle of the prime of his career, and maybe underestimated is his drive to win.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Denver making a switch here. Green's checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo.
This is about the last guy you want to send to the stripe right now. They keep fouling him, and he keeps making them.
Rivers looking over the floor. Back to Porter. Wide open. The Nuggets with a new 14. Green, the pass to Jokic. Right side, George. Over Porter. Los Angeles with another miss.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
That one a little long. Stolen by Gordon. Over George. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it... All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basket. After 2 quarters, it's Denver out in front. They lead by 10. And Big Fella, let's get your thoughts. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're...
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half. Got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far, the defense has not been able to counter it.
Aaron Gordon out there at Bowl. Then it's Michael Porter. Then there's Austin Rivers. And it's Jokic in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group for Mike Malone getting going here in the second half. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Oturu, the pass to Leonard. George up top. Jokic defending. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
We call that masterful use of the pump fake. Paul George effective getting guys to jump on it.
And both free throws good for Paul George. The Nuggets leading by 8. Now here's Rivers. The feed to Porter. Count that one. Porter's got his second basket of the game.
Well, the coaching staff loves seeing this kind of playmaking from Austin Rivers, the willingness to share the basketball.
George passes to Leonard. No good on the triple. And so it's Jokic with the ball. He brings it up for Denver. And here's Porter over Beverly. Porter, no luck.
I'll tell you, he's trying to help them extend this lead, but it's been a tough night for him individually. Boy, that makes him 0 for 3 to start the second half. Not the start you were hoping for here.
Offensive rebound. Dishes at the bowl. Lets it go with a 3. They get it back.
The towering presence that is Ball. Good at staying active and going after those offensive rebounds.
Outside, George. Outside, Leonard. Back to George. From deep three-point range. And the ball travels out of his hands. It was last touched by Jokic. Morris is checked in for Denver. How about that strong defensive performance for this half's Mobile One block?
And read the play perfectly. Gets himself in the air at the right moment. Terrific denial.
Shot clock at 5. And Aaron Gordon gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Both teams will make substitutions. Kennard for 3. And no good that time. Now Denver takes it the other way. Millsap against Morris. Here's McGee, and it's McGee with the jam.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Morris against Jackson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Morris looking over the floor. On the wing, Morris. Nasty move. That's good. And it's Millsap with the assist. Morris has got the lead up to 14 now for the Nuggets. Los Angeles has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. We were all witnesses last year to the pandemic, struck with worldwide repercussions. The NBA was no exception. The 1920 season was altered, and this season was delayed. The league is finding a sense of solidarity and resolve under the leadership of Adam Silver. Sports is a microcosm of society as a whole, and we all are finding different ways to overcome this. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, DA. Now, here's Batum. Back to Kennard. 6 to shoot. There's Jackson with the 3. Harrison with the rebound.
Yeah, they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Cousins against McGee. Harrison passes to Morris. Here's Harrison. Kicks it to McGee. And the slam dunk by McGee.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now here's Jackson. To the middle. It's stolen. And here we go with Morris. Running it up the court. Finished off the break. Morris has got 4 points this quarter.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Now Jackson. Morris with the rebound. McGee the pass to Najee. Harrison kicks to Millsap. Takes a 3. They grab their own miss. Back to Harrison. And so it's Denver holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We come back right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them And what a beautiful feed.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, the two stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. That's Rajon Rondo. And it's Oturu in at the 5 spot. Here's Oturu after Austin Rivers scored. Inside, here's Jokic. An easy 2 points on the layup. Now, in the free agent race last year, for your money, Greg, who would you have rather taken? Kawhi and PG, Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Oof. Oh, wow. I tell you what, it's a tough call. You know,
Kawhi's
got a couple finals MVPs. KD's got a couple. Kyrie's got a ring. It's a tough call. I mean, PG is more than capable, man. I think it's a toss-up, partner.
Agree. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Paul George with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up. All alone. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
Boy, that open look set up by Kawhi Leonard, that's probably the most underrated aspect of his game.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Rivers with it. 5 on the clock. Over Rondo. No good that time. The Clippers go the other way with it. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley comes in for Rajon Rondo. Now, here is Morris. Here's Najee. Clock at 6. It's good.
And even with the big lead, he remains focused on the task at hand.
That is the competitiveness he brings to the table. Every night you're going to get great effort from him.
Here's Beverley. Outside, George goes up to the stripe. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. McGee's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
Leonard attack.
Please. Well, don't let Kawhi's quiet demeanor fool you. This guy has athleticism and explosiveness. How about that in style?
Now, here is Morris. He kicks it to McGee. Shoots a 3. That one's not going to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Here's Leonard. And finished off by Leonard.
As unassuming as he looks sometimes, Kawhi Leonard finishes with authority off the dribble.
The Nuggets leading by 18. And the pass to McGee for 3. The Nuggets with another miss. For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Wow, hammering it in!
This guy is such an excellent finisher at the rim. He's got incredibly long arms and very strong hands.
Morris inside, defended by Beverley. Here's Harrison. Back to Morris. Latrey. It's hauled in by Beverley.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Nuggets.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for JaVale McGee.
Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor. 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter. from deep. And it's Gordon missing.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you've hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
And it was still over the rim. Offensive basket interference. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Clippers. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Now here's Patterson. Passes it to Beverly. Just 5 on the clock. Beyond the arc. You can't get that one. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's good. And the starting lineups have concluded. So, hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on and the Clippers starting five. Patrick Beverly out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Oturu in at the power forward position. And for the Trailblazers, we've got Damian Lillard, Robert Covington out there with Derek Jones. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic, and it's Simons in at shooting guard. Here's Nurkic, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's George, and Jones sends it back, and he's able to get it back. Tries again. That shot missing. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. And oh, here we go. Covington's got it. The fast break chance. Jones finds Covington. No good with the triple. Beverly against Lillard to the paint. And the dunk by Zubac.
I love the patience Beverly has developed with the ball in his hands. Terrific find.
And Smitty, you know what Pat Beverly is going to bring every night. A fearless, ferocious, at times almost sociopathic level of intensity. And this guy just does not take a possession off.
You know, he's one of those guys I would have to question even playing with him. He plays so hard. I know I hate playing against him.
And it's George finishing it off.
Great hustle by Paul, using his speed in the open court. And then, of course, he's an excellent finisher.
Lillard, the pass to Nurkic. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
They finally hit one after missing 3 straight.
Outside, George. And he banks in the layup.
So comfortable in pick and roll. Paul George is a top-level ball handler who consistently makes the right play.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Lillard attacking. Pass to Nurkic. Shot clock at 6. And there it is for him.
You know, often we think of Dame as a scorer first, but they're reminding us of his great ability to pass the rock.
Now, here is George. Pass to Zubac. Nurkic with the steal. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. And the rejection by Leonard. For the finish. And George with the stuff.
I mean, he is explosive with his leaping ability. Paul George is well versed in finishing above the rim.
Here's Simons. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Cantor checked in for Nurkic. Anthony comes in for Derek Jones. And Norman Powell subbed in for Anthony Simons.
Don't let his height fool you. Lillard can rise up with the best of them.
Jackson with it. Up top, Cousins. Boy, your alma mater, UNLV, Greg, has produced some great NBA players over the years. I mean, so many great names.
No doubt about it. Listen, I got a special place in my heart for my former teammates Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon.
Right.
But also guys like Sean Marion. You go back to Reggie Theus, who was a tremendous player. And right now in the league, you got Kim Birch, dunk champ Derek Jones, and an up-and-comer in Christian Wood.
Good mentions. Now here's McCollum. Here's Cantor. It's good. This game is all even.
And the coaching staff doesn't have any issue putting the ball in Cantor's hands inside. And why not? That part of his game is very refined.
Here's Jackson. High post Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
One of the cases where height fails to tell you the whole story.
Portland's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. It's McCollum on the wing. He's guarded by Cousins. Powell down low. Count the basket.
Terrific play. This is why you run your offense through him and live with the results.
40 seconds left to play in the first. And now Portland on the break. Covington with the ball.
Showing off the agility and quickness. Covington knows where to get when the break is on.
So for the Clippers, Mann's checked in. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Jackson. Free throw drops for Covington.
And you look at Robert Covington, first team all-defense in 2018, the kind of versatile stopper that every team in the league could use.
Now here's Rondo.
Love Rondo down there on the block. Nice move to catch the D off guard.
It's his first trip to the line. The first one falls. And Rondo drops them both. There's 25 seconds left in the first. Now McCollum. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Powell dishes to Covington. Passes to Cantor. And now it's Rondo running all the way. Here he goes. Finished off the break.
Rondo is a pro in transition. He can flat out get it done.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Clippers lead by 1. When Damian Lillard's in the flow, there is no stopping.
I think in the past, anytime
Greg, this is why they say there's no substitute for experience.
And I agree. And, you know, sometimes guys need to learn to be more selfish at times. You also learn if it ain't broke, keep going with it. Ride the hot hand.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're a coach. Your team starting fast and playing with confidence.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. They've got Kennard, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Batum, and it's Rajon Rondo, and it's Man in at the 3 spot. And that one, good. Nurkic has got 6 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Leonard. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. The shot, no good. Good D by Covington. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Lillard against Jackson. Good work there as it goes. Here's Jackson. And here's Leonard. There's the steal. And here's the fast break. And Jones slams it home.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
On the wing, Batum. Dishes to Cousins. Lays it up off the glass. Cousins has got his second basket.
As much as today's game is being played on the perimeter, it's good to see Cousins attacking inside.
Outside, Jones. Morris against Covington. Over in the corner, Lillard. Back to Covington. 5 to shoot. To the left wing. Lillard misses.
And that's okay. Even though you miss, you had the right guy taking the shot.
And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Great job of reading the floor, got to the rim, and made a play.
And stolen by Cousins. And here we go. Cousins heading to the hoop. And Cousins throws it down.
Coaches have raved about this. Cousins' ability to have active hands and come up with strips.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Anthony's checked in for Portland. Norman Powell comes in for Anthony Simons. And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. And Lillard kicks to Jones. Portland no good that time either. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for Los Angeles. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. George, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting fouls. You know, Greg, when you were in New York, you were on a super team of sorts. Compare that to the super teams they're forming now in the NBA.
We've always had super teams. And this misnomer that this is something that's just come about with this era is, to me, absurd. You've always had it. Whether the difference nowadays is I think the players have more say in where they go. And they can orchestrate how a team is constructed. But it's always existed. And the reality is this. You become a super team when you win a lot.
Sure.
And that's what really dictates how super your team is.
Leonard inside, guarded by Powell. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Oturu. Here's Zubats. Makes it off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 3.
And they keep hammering away at them inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Lillard looking around. Here's Cantor. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
I mean, that's a good job working the ball inside and getting a quality shot.
Now here's Beverly. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. George against McCollum. George double team, and the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Outside Anthony. There's the pass to Cantor. Powell dishes to Cantor. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
And how about the toughness of Cantor? Outstanding at keeping his composure and just finding a way to capitalize.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Man's checked in, and it's Kennard in for George. The Clippers have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Rondo with it. Pass to Man. On the left block. And off the glass. That one's good.
Terrific use of his body to open up space on the inside.
Just 4 seconds left in the first half of basketball. And a deep 3 from Lillard. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They were never able to get the lead above. And that'll...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Without question, George is displaying his skills today.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
Jones is out there with Nurkic. Then it's Damian Lillard. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Simons in at the 2-guard spot. So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half. Los Angeles leading by 4. Here's Oturu. Powered down with both hands.
It's amazing everything Leonard gives you, including the eyes to find the open man.
Lillard outside. Jones finds Lillard. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. Let's take another look at the staunch defense during that mobile 1 block.
And he's all over that shot. Has it read the whole way and gets the position he needs to make a play.
Outside Leonard. Pass to Zubats. Leonard on the wing. Defended by Covington. Leonard no luck.
Offensively, that's how you want to end the possession, except for the result.
That one goes in.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Trailblazers trail by 8. Passes it to Simons. Nurkic with it. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Trailblazers have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
Wearing the number 0 for a reason. Damian Lillard has it on his back for his city, Oakland. Just the latest star from the town.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Clippers. Jackson comes in for Leonard. And a wide open look for McCollum. Great look, but off the mark.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Excellent pass, PG-13, keeping his eyes up, using his vision.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Now McCollum. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Covington finds Nurkic. Leonard with the steal. And they're moving it up the floor. Nurkic against Zubac. Here's Leonard. And that one drops for him. Leonard's got the lead up to 11 now for Los Angeles.
One of the more physical wings in the league. Kawhi gets smacked there, but not to be denied.
Tipped away. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Enes Kanter's checked in for Derek Jones. Carmelo Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Powell, he's checked in for Anthony Simons. And Damian Lillard is subbed in for McCollum. Yep, that one goes in there. Nurkic has got 8.
And this is where Nurkic gets a lot of his points, staying active even after the shot goes up.
Jackson against Lillard. Jackson passes to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
For them, the first half was maybe more of a filling out process. Now it's winning time.
Lillard dishes to Kanter. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 12-3 run. The pass to Morris. Outside for Batum. There's the dish to Jackson. And Lillard is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul.
And here are the Clippers now. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. Here's Morris. And the layup's good off the glass. Morris has got his first points of the game.
An efficient scorer inside. Morris can beat you with a variety of moves.
Lillard outside. Outside Anthony. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard. Clippers leading by 13. Outside Jackson. Morris outside. On the wing, Batum. Back to Morris. Just 3 to shoot. Goes up the baseline. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
To the inside. And stolen by Cousins. Now the Clippers moving it up. Back to Batum. Stolen by Kanter. Here's Lillard. He has 5. Poked away. Fades away. Powell finds Lillard. Pass to Nurkic. 4 on the clock. Over Kennard. Oh, my goodness, with no time left on the clock.
Without a moment to spare.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. 13 points up at the end of the period. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to fire.
You know, it takes good vision and it takes good decision making right there. He showed both, and he did so at a very high level.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Taking a look at Los Angeles. They've got Batum. Rajon Rondo is out there with Luke Kennard. Then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's man in at the 3 spot. Zubac, that's good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Trailblazers trail by 13. And now we've got the intentional foul. A different look now for Portland. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Anthony. Robert Covington comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for Lillard. Pass to Simons. Covington in the corner. He dishes it to Cantor. And he banks in the layup.
And that's just all muscle there. Cantor is solid at fighting his way through whatever the D throws at him.
Outside, George. Pass to Oturu. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got... And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Flexing at the rack, Leonard doing what he can to fire up his teammates.
Out to the right wing, Paul George with the steal. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Leonard with the ball, and then Leonard with the dunk.
Tremendous effort getting the steal, then getting the ball up the court.
You know what? We see this time and time again. Turnovers lead to a break, and then points at the other end.
McCollum kicks to Cantor. Bucket is good. Cantor's got 4 this quarter.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
Zubac finds George. Here's Beverly. Here's Oturu. And Cantor pulls it down. And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for Portland. Trailing by 13.
And I don't care what his size is. You cannot forget to box him out. He's just got a nose for the ball, and he is fearless in attacking the glass.
Outside Leonard. Here's Oturu, and that one is stuffed right through.
This is why you love to run the offense through Leonard. Have to play him to score. That opens up passing lanes.
McCollum up top, defended by Beverly. Oh, Leonard in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And boy, Kawhi is the perfect target. The big reach to get to the pass and the great hands on the catch.
Here's Simons, defended by George. Cantor inside, working on Zubac. Clippers leading by 15.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Los Angeles.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Leonard.
I thought he did a good job of filling out the defense early on. Then once he found his groove, he stayed aggressive throughout.
And, you know, Cantor can dominate on the court, but his real passion may be pro wrestling. He even held a pro title belt for a little while. He's a big, strong fella. I know I wouldn't want to be in the ring with him. That one's going to be the final dagger, and these guys can now celebrate.
This has been flat out a dominant performance. They earned this victory all the way.
Jackson deciding where to go with it. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Portland. Here's McCollum. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hollis Jefferson kicks to Little. Shot clock at 6. Hollis Jefferson passes to Little. They get it again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Leonard on the wing. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And here were the Clippers arriving earlier, getting mentally prepared to go to work on the road. A stunning view of the moon over our broadcast location tonight. And they'll have some minutes to make up for it with an injury in their roster.
Compensating for the absence of a key player can be difficult, but they've got to hold strong.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley out there with Kawhi Leonard.
Oh,
my great touch.
Goodness! That was special. And throw it down, Kawhi. That was nasty. Love watching him go hard and attacking with power.
Chalk up two there. Terrific, talented backcourts tonight, Greg. Did it ever add anything for you playing across another top-level guard?
Listen, it raises the stakes, no doubt about it. You always want the opportunity to play against the best because you want to see where you stand. But in the end, even when you know a guy's better than you, and you're going to have that be the case a lot of nights, you still know that you will have an ability to impact the outcome when it comes to winning. And that's where you have to keep your focus.
Boy, I'm absolutely shocked he didn't get that one to go. Usually he's money from deep.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, and of course, Marcus with a twin brother, Markieff, went to college together, played in the pros together. You'll have a hard time finding a closer pair of siblings.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. 4-point game. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Count it, good.
And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on. And I remember when Doncic was first asked, Who is your favorite player? And, boy, he did not hesitate. LeBron James.
Hey, Greg, for guys of his generation, that would be the answer for 80 to 90% of them, and with good reason. How about these quotes from Doncic? He said, if I dunk on LeBron, I can retire. But I like this one a little better. He said, LeBron can play in a lot of different positions. I can too. But for me to be like LeBron, I have to work much harder. That's a guy who knows his stuff.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Beverly against Doncic. Beverly the pass to Morris. Doncic with the steal. Inside. And Doncic throws it down.
Doncic doing a nice job showing you some sneaky explosion and athleticism on that throwdown.
Morris against Richardson. Morris dishes to Leonard. Second chance effort, and that's 2 points on the layup. Leonard's got his second basket of the game.
Only one miss in the first 5 attempts, clearly fielding.
Out to the wing, back to Doncic. Here's Marjanovic, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Doncic comes with the double team. Outside Leonard. Porzingis with the block.
Boy, Porzingis doing a nice job staying in position and then using his reach to block shots.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Doncic.
And that's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Mike Powell comes in for Porzingis. And it's Burke in for Josh Richardson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
To the wing on the left. Burke with it. George picks him up. Burke kicks to Powell. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Over to the left wing. Runs in the pass to Powell. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Batum. The shot by Powell, no good. And so Cousins will bring it up for the Clippers. George. And it's George finishing it off.
Boy, a very capable passer. DeMarcus Cousins does a solid job recognizing where to go with the ball.
Runs in the pass to Cauley Stein. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Brunson, good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Right wing. Outside Batum. Here's George. Banked in off the glass.
At 6'10", George is really capable of dominating inside. I mean, defensively, you need to try to push him out of his comfort zone, get him out of that lane area.
Well, it's been a... Earlier tonight, we spoke with Paul George about how they've integrated all the talent.
Everybody has a chip on their shoulder. Everybody.
Greg, that last point is key. This team plays lockdown defense.
And that's a big part of their identity. Most teams talk about being well-balanced. This team lives it.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
Yeah, also something I like out of them so far, they're throwing their bodies around in the paint, and the physicality is taking its toll.
Dwight Powell is out there with Hardaway. Then there's J.J. Redick. Then there's Trey Burke. And it's Cauley Stein in at the 5 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Passes it to Cousins. Over Cauley Stein. The shot comes out. Now Dallas takes it the other way. And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. George is checked in for Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in for Rajon Rondo. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, the Mavericks have their young star tandem in Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. KP said, we can be a pretty deadly duo. It's only going to be a matter of time. Once we get that two-man game going, it's going to be hard to stop. Guys, it's already hard to stop. Back to you.
Team on the rise, David. Thank you so much. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Yeah, these teams trading punches right now. I mean, it's table tennis. Back and forth we go.
But he stays with it.
Back to the basket, facing up. Cousins can still score with the best of the bigs in the league.
Doncic feeling it out. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Greg, who are your favorite players to watch in the NBA?
Boy, that's a tough one. You gotta like the guys that have changed the game in some regards, right? Steph, KD, and Giannis. Those are 3 guys that are just doing things that don't seem normal.
True.
Then others who remind you of past greatness. Jason Tatum with Kobe, or maybe an Anthony Davis with Hakeem, and those are guys that I love. And then the other guy, listen, LeBron James. I could watch him play basketball every day. To do what he's done at this stage of his career, I just think it's incredible, and I think our game is in great shape.
Agree on all counts. There's the 3. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. The Clippers trail, and now the Clippers on the break. Here's Batum. Nice D from Porzingis.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game. And known as a tremendous shooter for his size, Porzingis wasn't quite as accurate last season, which surprised some people.
Yeah, and Greg, some people would automatically assume that because Doncic attracts so much attention that Porzingis would get more wide open looks. But you got to remember, Porzingis missed a full season and was coming off an injury and needed to reacclimate himself to NBA gameplay. So that takes usually a season plus another season before you're all the way back.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Brunson's checked in. Porzingis can't hit.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lay-in.
Nobody near Leonard. And it's off from three-point range. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Porzingis has got the ball. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Dallas making a switch here. Powell's checked in. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Doncic against Leonard. And the pass to Beverly. He kicks to Morris. It's tipped. Doncic with the steal. Pass break, Dallas. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Powell is an excellent athlete, easily leaking out in transition and making himself a big target to throw the ball to.
1:30 left in the first half of basketball. Outside Leonard, a 3 ball. Nailed from three-point land. Leonard's got 7 points in the game. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable.
Doncic against Leonard. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Powell's got it all tied up now for the man.
Boy, Powell showing you great aggressiveness that time, fighting hard to come up with that offensive rebound.
And that's a foul called on Dwight Powell. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for Dallas. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Luka Doncic. And it's Burke in for Josh Richardson.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
It's his first trip to the line.
And you look at his numbers from last year, 89% from the line, so hard to ask for much more than that.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
Outside Hardaway. Powell kicks to Brunson. Powell trying to free himself up. Missed inside.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch. And the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
Brunson finds Burke. Pass to Powell. Back to Burke. And the dunk by Powell.
And, you know, this is what Powell does best. Establishes himself deep inside and jams it home.
And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's his first foul. Here's Brunson. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. It's a tie game in Dallas. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you enjoyed the competitive first half of action. Luka Doncic had a huge first quarter. He had 14 points. And the Mavericks over the past couple of years, Shaq, making some great personnel look. And that'll do it for us. The third.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
In that first half, he was a hot knife, and the defense was butter. Sliced right through them.
Well, you know what, guys? My question is this. Who's he going to posterize in this half? You know, we've already gotten a number of filthy dunks out of it.
So for the Clippers right now, we've got Patrick Beverley. He's out there with Kawhi Leonard. Marcus Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. And it's Oturu in at the 4. Porzingis with the block. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Doncic against George. Oturu tipped back in for 2. Oturu's got the first field goal of the second half for Los Angeles.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it?
Definitely. You're not going to make plays like that unless you expend the energy.
Clippers have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And George, the power on that throwdown.
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
Here's Doncic. Richardson the pass to Doncic. Lets it go from deep. The Clippers grab the miss. To the inside. Doncic with the steal. Fast break Dallas. Here's Marjanovic. And Marjanovic with the slam.
got to take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
Exactly. I mean, when you're running neck to neck, those kinds of mistakes tip the scale.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And George, here we go. Porzingis with the block. And it's the Mavericks on the break. Richardson's running.
Boy, KP wanting to dish it when his guys are open. I love that team-first attitude on display.
Now, here is George. He's got 6. And the layup's good off the glass. George has got the game tied up here for the Clippers. Greg, how special was it for you that you had your number 50 retired at UNLV?
You know, that's something I can honestly say. As a kid, you dream about a lot of things, winning, you know, playing at the highest levels. That's something I never really fathomed, to have your jersey hanging up in an arena. That was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special, wasn't it?
Exactly. Born and raised.
Now, Brunson. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's his first foul. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Here's Burke. Cauley Stein passes to Powell.
Well, when Cousins makes up his mind to defend, he does a nice job challenging shots and getting stops.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
Cauley Stein goes in. It's good. Cauley Stein's got the lead up to 2 now for the Mavs.
Nice work inside by Cauley Stein. Great tools as a finisher.
George looking over the floor. Pass to Cousins. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Cousins has got 6.
Hey, DeMarcus Cousins is really an effective guy inside. Give him the ball.
Brunson finds Burke. And 1:01 left here in the third quarter. Back to Cauley Stein. It's good. The assist that time from Burke. Cauley Stein's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Burke kicks to Powell. Dishes it to Cauley Stein. Here's Burke. The Mavericks rebound. Powell passes to Burke. Hardaway with a wide-open look. Shot clock reset for Dallas. Now the pass to Brunson. Here's Burke. No good on the 3. Clippers have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. George with the bucket.
And George is very capable at knocking down difficult shots. I mean, because of his size and stroke and ball handling and his added strength, he's able to shoot over good defense and knock them down.
Brunson the pass to Burke. With 4 seconds on the clock, and he lays it up and in. Burke's got the lead, back up to 2 now for the Mavs. George with the ball. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And the game still closely contested as we... How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or 2 when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Dallas. Hardaway and Porzingis in at the forward slots. Luka Doncic out there with J.J. Redick, and it's Marjanovic in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And Doncic gets it to go.
You know, he's a capable shooter from outside, guys, and for Doncic, I think it's a matter of just shooting with confidence all the time.
And it's Leonard with the jam.
Yeah, that's careless defense, though. I mean, he's one player you can ill afford to let run free. He just loves to be a money player in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he plays with no fear, and he certainly knows how to put the ball in the basket.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
And Doncic is right there. Doncic has got 9 points here in the second half. And an important part of every team's game. We'll look at the hustle stats for Dallas.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And also the ball hockey. The way they've come up with the steals, the way they've harassed the ball handler all day, forcing mistakes. They've really done a nice job of taking advantage.
And he makes good on the layup. And now it's a 9-point Maverick lead.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
And that one's good. Beverly.
Tremendous focus from the little man, Patrick Beverly there.
Mavericks leading by 7. Doncic outside. Offensive rebound.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Love the unselfishness of Beverly. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Doncic dishes to Richardson. Pass to Porzingis. Back to Richardson. Stolen by Beverly. Right side Leonard. Porzingis with the block. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Ivica Zubac has checked in for DeMarcus Cousins, and Georgia subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Outside, George. Pass to Oturu. Shot clock at 6. Outside, George tries to hit him. Doncic with the block.
You know, I like that Doncic, guys, doesn't back down on defense and tries to make it hard for his opponent.
Hardaway's checked in for Dallas. Doncic